Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a plant update video. I'm going to give you all the amazing details on all my plants that are currently inside, and then we'll go out front and I'll show you all the amazing updates that are happening outside as well. So let's get started. We are going to start with my Easter cactus. This is my Easter cactus, and as you can see, it's doing quite well. We got new leaves coming in. The only thing you can expect from Easter cactuses at this point, since it's December, it's just to grow leaves. It's basically it. Just fertilize it every 2 weeks, water it when it's needed, and just expect new leaves to be growing out. That's basically it. The Christmas cactuses, on the other hand, are a totally different story, but Easter cactuses, you won't see any buds or any blooms to around Easter time, which gives them the name Easter cactuses. So now we're gonna move on to my Christmas cactuses, which is very, very exciting. I'm so freaking excited about this, because this guy is growing lots and lots of buds at this point, which is amazing. I love it. The only sad thing is, in Florida, it's 80 degrees right now, which sucks, because you need to have these guys in cold air to have them produce buds. But the good thing is I keep my AC on very low when it's hot like this, to about 65 or so, around that area. That way it stays nice and cool, so maybe that'll help while it still feels like summer in December. But yeah, you normally around the cold weather, I usually put these guys by the back door or in a cold room. When the temperature gets below 65, between 65 and 66, if it gets below that area, that's normally when I would put mine, in a cold room or by a door that gets cold air. That's what I would suggest. It just depends on your climate and how cold it gets at night, because that's the only time I move them, because I do have a cat, so I can't have them by the back door during the cold weather all the time. So during the night is when I normally would put them by this back door where it gets cold air all night long. But here, at least in Florida, that has not happened. So I love it that it's producing lots of buzz, but I'm a little freaking out just a little bit, because it's not getting really cold at night anymore. Because every night before I go to bed, I check the temperature, how it's going to be before I go to bed until the time I get up, so I can decide, do I need to put them by the back door or not. I haven't done that in a few days. At least 3 days I have not done that, because it has been cold enough. At night it gets like maybe 70, not even hitting 69 at all during the night, so that's crazy. So here's this Christmas cactus, who is doing quite well. I don't think this guy has any buds, but I'm okay with it because it's growing lots and lots of leaves, which is something that I love seeing. So then we got this Christmas cactus right here, who I also don't think is growing any new buds at this point. As long as it's growing leaves, I'm not going to freak out, because as long as it's growing leaves, I'm totally cool with it. I'm not gonna freak out about it. Which is why my big Christmas cactus is growing like tons and tons of buds at this point, which I'm really excited about. So now we're gonna move on to my aloe. My little aloe right here, my baby aloe. Everything seems to be going quite well. I watered it like I watered the other ones when the soil is completely dry. And it's staying steady. It hasn't grown any new leaves as of yet, but everything is nice and steady, which is what you want to see if you're prone to burning yourself like I am when I'm in the kitchen, or anywhere in the house basically. Is definitely to have one in the house, that way you're getting the pure aloe healing properties, and have one outside, so if one happens to die, which they're going to do eventually, you'll have another one outside that you can bring inside and keep watering it, taking care of it, so if you do or somebody does get burned, you have aloe to rub on it so it can heal properly. Always have one inside and outside, because they can grow about 12 babies a year, which is amazing, which is what you want. The more you have outside, the better. You don't have to worry about having to rush to the store to buy some medicine for your hand or whatever part is getting you burned. That's why I like having one inside. I like having one outside. I love it. So now we're gonna move on to my favorite part, which is my Phalaenopsis orchids, because they are beautiful. So here are my Phalaenopsis orchids, who are doing quite well. We got this flower spike, an extended flower spike right here, which everything's growing quite nicely. We got new roots growing. The roots that are in water are doing wonderfully, which is amazing, which is what I love to see. And because I have a tree right outside this window, I don't have to have a curtain over it so it gets shaded sunlight, which is what Phalaenopsis orchids needs anyway. They need shaded, they can't handle direct sunlight, so they need shaded sunlight, which is why I have a tree out here. I don't have to worry about that, which is always great. And I always put my flower spikes aiming towards the light, because that's the way they're gonna go anyway. So if you want to keep them as straight as possible, have them always facing the sun and try to keep them in the same angle as they were before. So then we have this guy right here who is doing wonderfully. We got this nice leaf growing. We got this nice flower spike and possible buds coming. Again, it hasn't really been cold enough for me to do that. That's seed buds for this guy. Because when it gets really cold, I think between 65 to about 63 degrees, I think it is, it kind of says, oh, it's time to grow buds. But with Phalaenopsis orchids, that can happen anytime, basically, which is why I love them. They can have buds at any time of the year. They can have flowers that will stay in bloom for a year. I think the most is a year. So everything is looking good with that guy. So then we got this one right here who has this little bitty flower spike. It's growing a leaf right here, and we have roots growing like crazy. We have 2 area roots right here. I'm just gonna let them grow. I'm not gonna really try to, I don't suggest forcing them into your pot. That's never a good idea. If they're gonna go in the air, they're gonna go in the air. That's just how it is. At least I have at least one area root in every orchid I have growing in the air. At least one. But that's just the way they are. They like going in, some like going in the air, some don't. Just depends on the orchid, really. So we got this guy who has this nice long flower spike. I'm not kidding about the long flower spike. And it's also growing a new leaf right here. All the roots seem to be doing quite well. No sign of distress that I can see, but everything's looking good with this guy. And the only thing that would make me really happy is to see buds, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So I'll have to be happy with the new leaves, the flower spikes growing. Everything is looking really good. So this is my baby orchid because it's the smallest of the bunch. It really is the smallest. And everything is looking good. It's growing nicely. All the roots are growing. There's no new leaves at this point, but all the roots are doing quite well, which is amazing, which is what I love to see. I love to see roots growing. As long as the roots are growing, that's a sign that it's happy. You always want happy roots. Then we got this guy right here, who, if you've been with me for a while, you know I've been worried about. I've been worried about this guy for quite a while. But it's growing just like a flower spike right there. But everything else looks good. The roots are doing good. The leaves are doing good. Everybody's doing good. And I love it. So yeah, everything's good. So before we go outside, I'm going to show you the fertilizers that I use and the thermometer that I use for my orchids. In case you would like to get one for yourself, there will be links in the description below, so you can go check those out. So for my rose bush outside, I use Miracle Grow. I love Miracle Grow. They're not sponsoring this video, but I love them so much. This is for my rose bush. This is rose plant fertilizer. That's what I use for my rose bush. So for everything else, my aloe plants, my poinsettia, and my Christmas and Easter cactuses, I use this Miracle Grow for that. And they seem to like it. They enjoy it. It's really good. Which I need to get more of soon. But yeah, they love it. That's what I use for those. And then for my orchids, I have 2 different fertilizers for my orchids for if they're in spike or not. So this one is the 20-20-20. This is the one I use for all my orchids that are growing roots and growing leaves. That's it. That's the only one I use this for. So when they are in spike, they have flower spikes, they have buds, they have flowers, I use the bloom booster for that. So that's what I use this guy for. Again, all the links will be in the description below in case you would like to check one out and buy one for yourself. And this is the thermometer in humidifier detector that I use. I put this right around my orchids so I know what the temperature is around them. I know the humidity level that is around them. That's why it always goes right there between my orchids. That I can just come up here, I can see the temperature, make sure the temperature is good, and make sure the humidity is good. I think the humidity for an inside orchid, for a Phalaenopsis orchid, is about 42 to 47. I think around that area is the humidity level you need for an inside plant, but it's 53 right now, which I'm quite okay with. So now we are going to go outside. I'm going to show you all the amazing updates I have outside, and I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay guys, here are all my aloe plants that are growing quite well. This is the mother aloe, who's doing quite well. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 babies still, which is really, really good. She's doing quite well, growing new leaves. And you can't even tell she had damage from when we had the tree guys out here, which is what I love to see. Everybody's growing new leaves, everybody's growing. It's amazing. So now we are down here to my poinsettia, who is doing quite well. As you can see, all the leaves are green. Again, it's not cold enough for them to start producing the red leaves and all of that, so it has to get pretty cold and lots of darkness to do that, but everything else is looking super, super good with this guy. Leaves are growing. We got some new leaves coming in, which is amazing. And here is my rose bush. As you can see, it's making a comeback. We got leaves growing. Everything is looking good. I love seeing my plants make a comeback. This is so exciting to see, and hopefully it'll get cold enough that it will start producing some buds and everything. But it's not cold enough as of yet. Okay guys, we just came back from outside to see all the amazing updates outside. This week is fertilizing week, so I will have to get down to fertilizing them sometime this week. So always fertilize your plants every 2 weeks, or go by what the box says. Always do that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it, share to grow our community, and subscribe if you are new here. I do plant update videos every single Tuesday, and hit that bell so you're always notified when I put out new videos, and I will see you guys next week.